Hey, Joey. How you, Joey?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
Good, good. I am sitting in front of the computer. I just turned on recording. But while I've been waiting for you, I've been texting your dad.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Seemed like fair punishment since you were late.
How's he doing?
I didn't say he was texting back.
Oh,
Who, who do you think I was texting? Same. Okay, so here's how it went. You ready?
mm-hmm.
John, am I just a story to you? One that voices inside your head tell you? Am I real or just an idea? Let's be real. I am just a story to you and to myself too. A story of what? And can the story improve? In your mind, am I pigeonholed, easily defined, categorized, and locked into my identity, and thus the projected life trajectory demanded by the identity? Luckily, I can be still and thereby notice the voices in my head that are unconsciously guiding my life without my being aware of it. Once aware of my inner committee of David is this and that, and thereby must do and say, blah, 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 my awareness grows, and with this awareness, the guides in my unconscious are set free by their own transformation, and I am open and free. And now come look at the world unburdened by my history. Why does that matter to you? Because you trap yourself in your definitions, the same way your definitions would trap me if I agreed that your reality is more defining of me than my own experience. And then he did respond. He said, I agree. I like the way you put this. I'm with one of my daughters right now. And when you try to figure things out, you have then stuck yourself at the level of unconsciousness, that is not the truth of you. And if you choose to live there and define yourself as that, then whoops. Brilliantly, I made a commendation for the possibility that we would trap ourselves in our minds. And have we not been trapped most excellently? So well trapped that we didn't know that we were lost and fallen. So well trapped that when we knew we were trapped, we tried to awaken the trap instead of being still until we are back noticing our divinity in every step of our path of freedom and love. Notice the divine in your heart. Take the time to keep your lamp lit long enough that you remember and reclaim your divine nature as your self-realized beingness here. Sunday School with Dave is now over. No gold star for you. Maybe later tonight, question mark. Always question your own experience of self. Why? Because you are not enlightened by your own admission. And so you are not being the truth of yourself. You are looking to the future for your redemption, and divine grace lives in this moment, not in the future. So how about an instant transformation, question mark? Nighty night. That's when you sent me your text.
And that's funny. He said he was with one of his daughters.
Yeah, how many does he have? I only know one.
And I was just with her. No, I'm talking about his stepdaughter, Kylie. Um, because he was too busy to come over to John Roberts tonight.
Yeah, oh, and now he just said, "I love that."
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check, make sure he actually read that.
Yeah. Well, he responded, but yeah. Well, I've been exercising, and I feel good.
You went to the gym today again?
No, I went to ecstatic dance for 2.5
Ecstatic?
hours. It's
Wow,
ecstatic.
talk about out of your comfort zone, eh?
Oh, you haven't seen me dance, obviously.
I guess not.
I'm not so wild and crazy as those guys that dance like African tribes people, but
Not a little more elegant.
no, just ecstatic dance has its foundation in connecting consciously with your body, and then allowing your body to move in such a way that you unburden yourself from all of the traps, the tensions, the thoughts and the ideas and the beliefs and all the fears that something bad's going to happen to the body. And so you have to allow those things to unburden before you can really be conscious in a steady way, because otherwise, if you're not unburdened, then you wake up into an environment that's horrible, but you don't wake up enough to clean it up. You only wake up enough to be in pain. Because there's pain underneath everything that makes us do stupid stuff and smart stuff, and but your unconscious mind is unconscious for a reason. You don't want to look at stuff that's history of yourself that you don't like. You go unconscious to that, file that away. How about something's painful emotionally, and you shove it down, like a guy, you put it away, instead of feeling it and crying your eyes out if that's what's necessary. And you know what? I think it's just as necessary for guys as it is girls. And so we're particularly fucked because we pretend everything. You and I have a similar curse, to overcome, and that is irrational positivity.
Yeah, I've been told.
Yeah. Positivity is great, so long as it's tempered by realism. Okay, so we don't want to lie about what 15 minutes from now is going to be like, or tomorrow. What we want to do is notice what it takes to make it wonderful, and whether that's a way of changing your self-awareness or thoughts or belief systems, or whatever the recipe is, even if it's just sleep and vitamins and being grateful, while you're looking at the sun for a few minutes in the morning, and say, "Ooh, impossible odds that I'm here, but I made it." You know what it took to get me this body? You know, everything in nature's abundant. I mean, I had a dragon fruit today, and how many dragon fruit does one dragon fruit cactus have? You know, how many a year? Dozens. And in each one, there's certainly more than 1,000 seeds, and or about, I would guess. So the point is how many cherries does a cherry tree need to make to reproduce, to make one more tree in its lifetime? Just one. But no, it produces many thousand every year, year after year. And only one of them need to become a tree to carry on the future for cherry trees. You know, no one gets planted for everyone that dies, right? So it's same thing with humans. But
Yeah, I just held my baby niece, who's not even, we're just about a month old tonight. I held her for the first time, and it used to stress me out, but there's something kind of beautiful in how delicate and innocent she was. This new little tiny ball of life just was fascinating tonight for some reason to me.
well, consider this, Joey. Consider being fascinated that you have a consciousness that you know moves beyond your body, and somehow you got yourself a body in the most implausible circumstances. A vacuum universe that things occasionally explode into beingness in, and then somehow life happened, and then somehow you were that one sperm out of billions, maybe trillions of sperm that your dad produces in a lifetime. And you know, you got your body. That one was yours, that you're cheering on, and you got it. You got the genetic code that you wanted. Now, why you wanted that genetic code, I don't know. But you were happy with it, or you wouldn't have come here and taken it. So the first thing to do in getting yourself free is for you to stop blaming your dad for being who he is. You knew who he was before you were born, so quit being a dick about it. She said, okay, this guy is, oh, wow, okay, that's going to be my dad. And that's perfect, because if he's my dad, then here's what I can do with that. And then at the point where I take responsibility for myself, instead of blaming other people for who I am, then I will have understood that pathway of how people get trapped. I can help, because I'll understand the situations that people are in, and how easy it is to be lost and not be found. Not even by yourself. You know, you don't want to be found by somebody else anyway. You know, it's cool when it happens, of course, but even when you're found by a divine being, even if Jesus or Buddha themselves came visited you, and as a result, you reclaimed your own divine nature. You still have to take responsibility for staying your truth after the influence of a demigod comes to visit you. And I mean, and who has that experience? Not very many. Or we'd all be having a different conversation in the world right now, wouldn't we? So where in this world are people transforming and transcending and moving through life with grace and gratitude and love? And where fear isn't there in that life, in thoughts and in beliefs. It's barely there if a bear's chasing you. You got your adrenaline and you do what you need to do, but you don't freeze while you're doing it. And that's what fear does, is freezes you. So let's feel that fear in the construct of your body, the tension of your muscles, the unconsciousness that you carry in the organs of your body, and the numbness that covers it all up. So you're not overwhelmed by it. It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's the quickest teacher sometimes. So that's what you do, is you open up and let it in. Whatever it is, it would overwhelm you if it breached your defenses. Open your doors. Front door and the back door and the side windows. Let it all flow, whichever way. Let it flow up through the roof and down through the floor too. Every part of you open, Joey. Consciously. As a choice of who and what you are now. You're open. And you're vulnerable. But in that vulnerability, you can experience the truth of yourself. The truth that sets you free. What if the truth that sets you free was an available experience for you? What would it do to you? Would it be so much pain and so much sorrow and so much transformation and so much jumping into the void and not knowing what's going to happen to you and whether you're even going to exist anymore? It takes guts to jump into the void, because the ego can't predict it, and the structure of the identities, the unraveling of that is what allows you to be free. And so you have to be willing to have your identity destroyed by God, or by the realization of your own nature, the truth of you, that if you lived it would dissolve away everything that's been self-created as a way to manage yourself and burden yourself protect yourself. So how do you actually do this? It's difficult for me. I can't say that it's easy. You know, it's I do these sessions so that I can feel what the answers to these questions are. You know, kind of they guide me on my own journey. But what I can tell you is that what I say in both the questions and the answers to the questions is that I don't know what I'm going to say before I say it. You know, or I don't know where it's going a number of times. You know, I'll say a sentence thinking, oh, this will be interesting, find out where this goes. You know, so I'm not doing this through thought. I'm not doing this through my identity of David and my personality. I do this by jumping into the void and allowing myself to release as many layers of my identity and my personality as I can. And in that, I'm able to move into a state where, you know, wisdom and clarity is what I experience myself as. And so I'm not saying that I do things wisely. I'm just saying that when I do this, I can have an experience like I'm having right now. And so the question is how do we move this into our lives so our lives are the way that we want? Because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I've spent 22 minutes building up to the purpose of our conversation tonight. Well, not conversation, my suggestions as to what will make things better. Talk. And so I can't say it from where I'm at right now, because I've over-identified in the last minute with David and Uncle David, and so from Uncle David I can't tell you anything that's really beneficial to you. I have to connect to wisdom and grace, and the only way I can do that is to let the lies of my identity, you know, burn off. And it's not a bad thing to shift a degree here and there. You know, it's how the pathway of freedom and truth goes, you know. You wake up terrified because of the circumstances that you're in, and how many hundreds of things are unresolved in your life. And then so you're overwhelmed, like I have been. Overwhelmed by the number of things that need to be done that I'm not getting done. And so I have to start putting some clarity in. I have to start saying, okay, how is it possible to fix this? Well, I can't fix everything at once, so I got to make choices. I got to say, okay, it's okay for me if the business in Arizona goes out of business as a result of my not devoting my time and attention to it. hopefully my partners can keep it working and in the black, because I can't give it any attention at all. So that was one decision. The next decision was, okay, I've got to get some sales coming in from the art, because every time I sell a Pietà, that saves me, pays off my bills and pays for the future. It's a lot of money when I sell one. And so, I'm there, where I can take another chunk, which I need to do because I need to put more money into the business, and I need to pay off my personal bills. So I'll be hopefully doing that very shortly. And then I have to say, what does it take for me to be happy? For me to be fulfilled? Is it okay for me to be walking around, with 70 pounds of fat on me? Yeah, no, it's not. So some behavioral choices, some changes in eating and exercise, and now I'm at the point where I don't have to talk myself into going to the gym. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I don't think I've changed much in my appearance yet, but I think another month, because I know in a month, I gain muscle pretty easily, so I'll gain a few pounds of muscle, and a few pounds is actually a lot. And again, managing how I eat and exercise, it'll be fairly easy to lose 10 pounds in a month and be at a weight that I haven't been at where I was only there once in the last 30 years. So I'm close to that, and so I'm really, really close to my ideal. I've lost 50 pounds, and almost, and another 20 is all I got. So why have I been at this weight that I'm at for 6 months? At least I didn't gain back. So the next decision is health. I need to be healthy. And then, the tough one came in that almost derailed me, and hey, I actually have to be a father now. I can't put 100% of the responsibility on the mothers. And being a father with a child that is in daily distress and lives with me, wow, that put me in quite a fix. And so how do I fix that? I had to work out. It's got a Band-Aid on it, but it's one that's making it bearable for me to have him in, and that is he's taken some medication. And so the only way that I can really make it that much more bearable, if he has to stay with me, and I'd prefer he be in a clinic, but he's terrified of that, and he doesn't believe he's sick. But we've come to an agreement where he's taking better care of himself. He's showering almost each day. I made that a hard and fast rule, but, he broke it yesterday. We had some problems with water to the condo. Some pump went out. But that's another long explanation of the changes that it takes in order to open. What do you do when you awaken a little bit? Your problems get magnified, and you have to begin to focus and say, what is it? where can I stabilize myself, my body? So reduce the number of obligations. I did that. I got some rules in place where, Claudio's managing himself acceptably. Not enough so that I'm not going crazy. Put the one business on hold, getting close to making a sale, and in the art business, and got everything resolved with the Kratom business. We're agreed on the numbers, and they're shipping tomorrow. So we're back in business.